What's going on, everybody? Welcome to lunch with the Clydesdale. It's lunch break, hanging out with my friends. What's going on, Corey? Yeah, coming to hang out today. Gonna talk about a few things. If you weren't with us yesterday on the roundtable, which a lot of you were, which was awesome. Um, yeah, we got word yesterday that they may be eliminating my unit or merging my unit in with somebody else. And so yeah, I need these lunch breaks these days. Got to figure out uh, what's going on. Yesterday was my 22-year anniversary with the state of Ohio. And I'm just trying to figure out how many more years to make that a viable retirement option. So I can just do what I love to do instead of what I have to do. What's going on, Sarah and Craig? Good that you can be here today. So, yeah, I know we all have that work-life balance that we try to figure out, and I don't mind my job. I just don't love my job anymore, and it's just not a high priority in my life. And so, ever since it's happened, it seems like people are trying to chip away at this thing. I really am kind of in a position now where I'm just trying to do my job to the best of my ability and get to the end. I'm not trying to advance or anything like that. I played those games for years with really no true satisfaction in all that. So, yeah. Anyway, that's just my little diatribe. My wife got her annual review today. She was surprised by some comments on it. And you should never be surprised on an annual review. That is such a pet peeve of mine. If you are surprised on an annual review, then your manager is not doing what he's supposed to be doing, or she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing. You should know how you're doing throughout the year, where the annual review is just a check-in and document it on paper. But so yeah. Sarah says, hang in there. After 20 years, I wouldn't want to start all over again personally. Yeah, I do not want to start all over again. 22 years in, I'm ready to be done. And it was like a month ago. I actually do qualify for a retirement right now with the state of Ohio. It's about half of what I make today. So there is something there. If I wanted to walk out the door, I would get a check the rest of my life, but I would need to then go back to work somewhere else and supplement it. So just trying to get tick off as many months, years as I can so that we can make it a more viable option. And cat pooped today. So I'm guessing she learned, can she wipe with a non-dominant hand? Yeah. Can't wait for that update. Just glad her surgery went well and everything's going well in her life, and pooping is a good thing. So glad that's happening too. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is yesterday, right after our roundtable, it was actually during the roundtable, I got the notification that the behind the scenes episode 2 went up on Savon's channel. And I know they're only up for like a few hours now at a time, and you have to go grab them. Watched it immediately after the roundtable yesterday. It was really good. If you didn't catch it, and he does put it up for a couple more hours, you need to go find it. There's a couple things I wanted to point out. One, it's typical behind the scenes, especially the night before event 1. They're at an athlete briefing. What I found interesting in that, in recording of this athlete briefing, there's actually an expert talking about body temperature and hydration before the night before event 1. That was a little piece that I didn't know happened. Would have been good to know. um, right after the tragic events. But I've also sat in those athlete briefings. Kat used to make me go to those all the time, and a lot of times the athletes don't pay attention at all. But I found it very interesting that they actually had an expert talking about keeping your body at its normal temp for as long as possible and tricks to do that, as well as to be aware of that in your race if you need to, like, say some things. Um, the other part is you get more words from Lazar the morning of the incident before he goes into the water. That is pretty eerie. Um, some of the directions, uh, some of the directions that were given to the athletes right before, that was a little bit ominous. Um, and then it talks about the event, or it shows the event. The first couple people come across, and then as panic ensues, things like that. And then looking at the proven coaches, they have footage of Luca looking into the water. It's really kind of eerie to relive that. But at the very end, there is a beautiful tribute to Lazar, a beautiful, beautiful tribute to him, um, where they took clips of footage from like all the behind the scenes and different things they've done with Lazar and put them together. It was really, really well done. I actually reached out to Savon to tell him what I thought of that. And he gave it up to Patrick Rios, who's actually the person who put that together for the um, who put that together for this behind the scenes. And it was so well done. So well done. So kudos to Patrick Rios. I wanted to give a shout out to him for that. It was really well done. I love the words that they put up about the smiles, the passion, the fire. All of that was very descriptive of Lazar, and really tells his story. And the footage was awesome and really well done. So huge, huge shout out to Patrick Rios for putting that together. Huge shout out to Savon for giving him the platform to do so, because it was great. Simply great. Yeah, John Young took it on the chin. One of the last words from Lazar was a parting shot at John Young. Yeah. What's up, Wad Zombie Man? Miss you, brother. Miss you. It was simple and perfect. Very well said. Very well said. So yeah, if it pops up again, make sure you hop on and watch it. I know Sarah said down here, the membership is too expensive for me. Unfortunately, the exchange rate sucks. Yeah, I don't know anything about the exchange rate. What I'll tell you is I wrestled with the cost. I did not sign up for the membership last year immediately. It took some thought, but then I thought, man, I get so much free. I get so much free entertainment from people that put out content. Um, and I pay to go to the movies. I pay to to buy stupid stuff. And if I can support a content creator in the space with that money and pay for something that I actually enjoy watching, that's how I kind of wrestled with it in my head. And so I looked at it as like a trip to the movies. So, because if my wife and I go to the movies, it's like 25-30 bucks to go see a 2-hour movie. And that membership allowed me to watch a lot of the behind the scenes and stuff that I really enjoy watching, and it supports people in the space, and that's why I did it. So that was my thought and it doesn't, I'm not holding anybody else to that. That's just how I rationalized it in my head. And I was not one that just paid immediately when it was available. I had to think it out. I had to make it justified in my head. And Grant, yeah, I think he's only putting these up for like a couple hours, and then I know episode 1 was up at 2 different points. Make sure you hit the notifier so so that when they pop it up maybe for a second time, you'll get a notification to go kind of check it out real quick. I think with some of the content in this one was going to be the one that was going to get pulled the fastest. But yeah. Yeah, I literally watched it like 15 minutes after the notifier came out. So yeah, I'm sure people are going to ask for it to be put up one more time. Hopefully that happens again. It happened with episode 1. It went up a second time. But we'll see what happens here. So there's that. Huge shout out to them. And then I want to talk about the announcement yesterday. 25.2 is 22.3. A lot of people kind of knew that ahead of time. How do we feel about leaks? Like, it seems to be like every year we're going to get a leak, at least one, if not more. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it at all. I think that part of the fun for me from my first ever open in 2013 till now has been the tension and the excitement as to what may or may not get announced. And I miss that. When everybody told me what this was going to be 4 days ago, that bummed me out. Like, I like to watch the announcement to see what it is. I like that tension. I like the excitement. But I think that Andrew nails it. Seems to be the norm now. Well, I've heard like 2 different stories that are computer glitch related, but I've heard also that people knew about it before the computer glitch. So I mean, I don't even know. I think it's just people want to ruin the surprise. Yeah, I've heard it was on the website as a way, like a lesson on how to scale a workout. And then I've heard that people putting in their scores for 25.1, actually 25.2 popped up. So they got to see it when they were putting in their scores. But I've also heard that people even knew what it was before those 2 instances. So I don't have anything confirmed. It's just, those are the things that I've heard. I'm sure you guys have heard things as well. Andrew says people like to be in the know. It makes them feel more important when they have information like that. Yeah. It's like we talked about last Sunday. Like, do you like your shows all at once so you can binge them from episode 1 to episode 12? Or do you like them released once a week so you kind of get to savor it and bring it out? And I am one that likes it released once a week, where I can savor the show over time, talk about it, build up excitement. That's why I like the Taylor Sheridan stuff that comes out once a week. I like The Pit. I like Reacher. Those come out once a week. Those are like, I can build up excitement for those episodes. That's what I like about the CrossFit Open. Is that tension. But like in 2013, when it was me and 3 of my buddies signed up, we had no idea what we're getting ourselves into. We used to pile into this basement right here, pull up the computer, and we would sit and wait with anticipation over what it was as a group every week. And that's the 5-week open back then. And there was no scaled. It was only RX. So whatever you got, and you had to take a shot at it. And I love that. I loved every bit of that. And so when these things leak out, I just, it takes away some of the fun for me in the open announcement. So let's talk about the open announcement a little bit. I think we were fooling ourselves if we thought it would live up to the same amount of hype as Mayhem, with Rich ripping off the pants and taking the floor. But I thought they did a really good job. I thought the crowd was into it. They were excited. I'm really trying to lean into what we're giving the community through this now. And the community at that affiliate, they were on fire. It it's CrossFit, like it's something about fire. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, the crowd was loud. You could hear them throughout. It was awesome. How many of the CrossFit nerds know about the leaks, though? 99% of people in gyms are probably still surprised. All right. Good point, Sarah. Stop using logic. It takes away my excitement. It's all about me. No, you're probably right. There's probably a ton of people out there. I know that when in my old gym, like I bet you people didn't even know the workout till they walked in on a Saturday to do it. So you're probably right. They're not even paying attention and have no idea. But so for this announcement, it was really, really cool to see the crowd and how loud they were. I liked how they featured the barbell saves, I think is what it's called. Tammy Saunders runs it. I've actually had her on my show. She was there presenting. On the right, there was the guy on the left. She was on the right. She talks about it a little bit, and it is for people who are going through recovery. If you are 48 hours sober, you can come to the gym and work out for free. And I'm glad that they highlighted. I thought it was a really cool way to do that. Tammy was also a master's athlete. She is coached by Bill Grundler. And we talked about that when she was on the show. But she was a big player in my behind the scenes. She's probably in 3 episodes, maybe 4. And she's just this bright light whenever you're around her. And she went through her own recovery, and so she's paying it forward by doing this barbell saves program. And I'm so glad that they shared that on the broadcast, because it's an awesome program. And Craig said there's a lot of people in recovery in her area. Yeah. Arizona. Yeah. And she's doing great work there. So that's awesome. And she's a phenomenal athlete. I mean, heck, her coach is Bill Grundler. He's not going to take on some chump. So she's awesome. So that was cool for me to see her do that. Then we go to Emily and Sydney. And when I saw the workout released, I was like, man, this is Emily in the bag all day long and twice on Sunday. But I got to say, Sydney really impressed me with her improvement in her upper body pulling. She looked really good. And to take like a full minute off of her time to take a full minute off of her time from a couple years ago was really, really cool to see. She only lost to Emily by 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds, which I didn't think she had a shot. Yeah, sorry about that cough. Another realm. He asked what's for lunch. And I will not have what he's having. No, there's something in my basement right now that in the wintertime, when it's cold down here, it just catches my throat weird. So I have a lozenge in trying to avoid that, but I took a deep breath and it caught me. But yeah, Sydney did great. Gosh, I met Sydney when she first made semifinals. Kat got her on the show. We did her first ever podcast here. When that was been 22, right? Was maybe 21. And that's when she was at the West Coast Classic doing really well until Muscle Ups came up. Muscle Ups came up. She took dead last. and then fell down. And that seems to be her MO for the last couple years. So then the fact that she has something with bar muscle ups made such a dramatic change in decreasing her time by a minute is really cool to see from her. And Emily was just rock steady as always, which was really cool to see. Kenneth S., how come Sydney got 2 years straight of open announcement spots? Can't answer that. I don't know how. You'd have to ask Dave and the games team how that happened. I know it is a very it's very meaningful to the athletes to get picked for those. I think that it proven last year she was a last minute replacement for Tia. So she was not intended to be the athlete at Proven last year. It was supposed to be Ariel and Tia as the fittest moms. And I think a day or two before the announcement, Tia kind of backed off because of her wrist injury. And then they had the other Proven athletes jump in, which included Sydney. It was Sydney, Maddie Sturt, and Jay Crouch, maybe Roman. Yeah, Roman came over from Mayhem. So it was Roman and Jay Crouch, I think, yeah. And then Sydney and Ariel. So Roman's had 2 in a row too. But I really do think it's because they were last minute replacements last year, because it was supposed to be Tia and Ariel. And Tia had to pull back. So they just grabbed a bunch of people to come in and fill in last minute. So that's probably why Roman and Sydney got 2 years in a row, because they weren't actually the people picked last year. Just trying to figure it out in my own head. I don't know. I could be just guessing. I am just guessing. But that was how I would reason it, maybe a little bit. And I think it's going to be a weird year. It was a weird year coming in because there was a group of people that we didn't know if they were signing up or not. So that probably made it hard for them to schedule these as well. Yes, I believe Roman got 2 years in a row too. Now, back in the day, like Rich did one, I think every year for a while. So the like only getting one every so often thing is kind of a newer thing. Back in the day, the champions were used a lot. So there's that. If you guys have any thoughts about the announcement, I thought they did a good job. It didn't live up to that hype of the first week, and I don't think anything could have. But I think they did a good job, and it was nice that they shared the mic around. They did it with excitement. It wasn't like reading from a note card. They actually brought the hype. I thought that was good. So I think we're heading in the right direction. And then next week, I think just because of the competitors and the foundation of the punishments and the trash talk that they have put down for the last couple of years, I think next week will bring the hype as well. I'm excited to see that one. So has anybody done the 25.2 yet? I have not. I'm probably going to do it Sunday. I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do it RX or scaled. Because I know Kai has posted a score already of 454. George Sterner, a 505. Angelo DeChico, a 509. Those are some of the top scores on the men's side right now already posted. Halpin did it this morning to 5:30 a.m. class. Craig's doing it tonight as affiliate. How'd you do, Mike? Some of the top women's scores. Kristen Holta just seems to be the person that gets out there and posts the score to beat early and then lets people come after her. She did a 5:03. Currently sitting in first is Kristen Holta, and Emily Rolf's time from yesterday still sits in second at 5:18. Sydney Wells' score is sitting in fourth currently. Trying to see if any other big names. Jennifer Dieter, the Masters athlete. Halpin beat his 2002 score, but not by much. Went from double under issues to chest to bar issues. Live and learn. Yeah. I did it scaled in 22. So that's why I'm kind of debating whether try to beat my 22 score at scaled or go after it RX. I'm not sure I'm confident in my double unders to hang in there for a while, but we'll see. Yeah, that's about it. Not many women have posted, but Kristen Holta, 5:05, 5:03, the time to beat right now. Actually, Halpin, I think you're one of the first people that I've seen that has actually beat their score. Other than Sydney Wells, she was the only person that I've seen personally beat their score from 22. So I think beating your score is pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, not much else there. Going into the weekend, you guys got any big plans? I did see that World Fitness Project has announced prizes for the podiums at their different competitions. So put that out there. Elite teams of 4 are going to make $3,000. If you win, $2,000 for second and $1,000 for third. Intermediate teams of 4 will make 1,000, 600, and 400. Scaled teams of 4 will even make 500, 300, 200. And the duo divisions will make 750, 500, and 250. So they are having prize money even for a scaled division team, which surprised me a little bit. But they have made that announcement. Kyle Landis says, I wish the MMA guy was in Sterner's 25.2 video. That would have been great. My guess is he probably got a sternly written memo, and that's why he didn't appear in 25.2. Will Colton beat his score and take the top spot on this one too? I think he has a good shot at taking the top spot on this one. Thank you, Corey, for the like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, man. And Sarah says, I wonder how ticket sales are. Yeah, I've not heard how ticket sales are going. We officially put in media credentials for the Indianapolis event, Tour Event 1. As a company here, we requested some tickets. We'll see how that goes. Haven't heard anything back yet. I did hear back from Syndicate Crown. I do have approval for media credentials at Syndicate Crown already. That's good to know. Now I can plan. The only thing that throws a big wrinkle in for me is my wife's second knee surgery to get the other one done is scheduled for May 6th, right smack in the middle of all of the CrossFit activity. So trying to figure out how to make sure she is taken care of and that I can still attend some of the stuff. So we'll see how that all works out. Andrew Sten, a sternerly written memo. Yes. I think that is actually the accurate term for what happened to Mr. MMA guy. He got a stern early written memo. Are you going to Mayhem? I don't think so. I've learned through this whole thing that whenever you're with Rogue or Mayhem, their media presence is so big that there's not a lot left for you to be able to do. And I am assuming that their media team is going to be able to do anything and everything they want to do to show that. And so it's going to be interesting. So I just don't think that there's a place for us there. That's how I personally feel. And because there's so many events this year, we have to be strategic. Because if you notice right now, we really don't have a sponsor for the show. So we're kind of doing everything on the fly. And yeah. So just trying to be strategic about what we're doing. And I'm really thinking about trying to follow one big storyline through the season this year, as opposed to like trying to cover everything. And just try to be unique in that fashion, I guess. Corey says Colton is going 2 for 2. Y'all. And I think it is definitely possible. But I think with workouts like this, you just never know. But Colton's upper body pulling is awesome. And his thrusters are incredible. Double unders are pretty good. I think he's going to be fine. But people came close. Like Colin Bossard only missed out by 4 seconds or 4 reps last time. So it's not like Colton's unbeatable, but I definitely think he's the favorite going into this for sure. But there's a lot of fit people out there now. So it'll be interesting to see. So this weekend, Train to Live says redemption for Hatfield. Could be some redemption for Hatfield. He's going to have to lock out those elbows on those thrusters, though. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that could do well. I still would give Colton the nod if I'm picking, but I think that there are definitely a lot of people out there that can give him a run, who are good at certain things, and will give him a definite run for his money, for sure. But only time will tell, because he held off posting until Monday last week. So we may have to wait all the way, because he may want to see the scoreboard and know what he has to hit. It'll be interesting. Corey says, I'm not saying he's going to blow everyone away, but this workout was almost designed for Colton. He and Tetlow are the same size, and Tetlow currently holds the world record. Yeah. Who's to say Tetlow won't do it again? I'm betting he's still pretty fit. He may take a shot. And my boy, Scott Tetlow, can cycle a barbell. That is for sure. Aren't the barbell spin doing Colton and Austin live? I think they are, but I don't think it's necessarily an open announcement. I think maybe it is this one. I know they were talking about it on Wednesday night. Corey saw Tetlow at a camp, can confirm his fitness. Sten says, I thought Tetlow posted he is injured. Scott's always injured, man. I'm just kidding. I think he's retired is what he really is. I know with his wife's business now and stuff, they're really like, he needs to focus more on family. So yeah. Aaron says, I do think it's this workout. Um, I just I I don't think they at Wednesday they didn't know it was going to be the workout. It was like if it's going to be the workout, maybe, and even if it's not the open one, we could do something. So maybe they will, maybe they won't. I doesn't surprise me that with John's infatuation with Austin, I'm sure he has his number or he found it some way stalking him, and Colton is good friends with the spin. They could set it up for sure this weekend. Um, Sarah thinks it was 25.1 to do together. Yeah. So I watch the spin as I'm going to bed on Wednesday night. And I will admit, sometimes I'm drifting off or I'm uh, doing all of that. And actually, Aaron, Colton was on live when they were talking about it. And then Austin was in the comments. I do remember that, and they did agree to it, but they didn't know it was going to be an open workout when they did. So that's the piece I think that is missing. Because I think they said if it's not an open workout, they would do it after the open was done and do it like a side competition. So I don't know if they'll do it during the open or wait and do it again after the open's done. So yeah. So other than that, Sunday gonna do this. Saturday I've got a birthday party to go to for a friend of ours. So we're gonna go do that. I did see something. Who the heck was I talking? I don't know what it was. I'll have to find it and bring it up. But yeah, it was somebody posted something that they stopped drinking alcohol, and the minute they did, they got like their abs like shredded. I have quit drinking alcohol for over a year now, and my abs are still not shredded. It has probably made me healthier and fitter and helped me lose weight, but it has not shredded my abs. Just saying. Anyway, well, with that, we're coming up on the end of my lunch hour. Got to get back to the daily grind. I got a meeting this afternoon. With that, guys, it's time to get back to work, you hooligans. See you guys on Sunday for Sunday night CrossFit Talk, and then back for lunch with the Clydesdale on Monday. See you guys.